It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moore. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Darnold now to throw. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he will have the Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's taken down inside the 30.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Browns' 28-yard line.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Darnold. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Oklahoma product, Baker Mayfield, trotting out there now with the rest of this Browns offense.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses have better focus on.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Flush to his right. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield to throw it. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Well, Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
They run again on first down. Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 22 carries, 79 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
From the 29, Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. They've allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Mayfield. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Darnold. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coach, and got his man complete. Touchdown, Browns. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And once again, the Browns are back in front. But Baker Mayfield only 6'1", but he can certainly sling it, and we saw evidence of that right there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. On fourth down, Joseph Charlton on to punt. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Jarvis Landry, helmet back on and ready to go. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
They're struggling with that so far. They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. An opening for Chubb on first down as he dashes forward for about 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A first down throw, Darnold. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Back to throw, Darnold. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
3rd and 2, Darnold. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Now Chubb running right. Wiggles free. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. First down, Mayfield. A quick throw, but incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in a running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Come on now. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. That one caught by Felton. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. He'll dump this off to Cook. Touchdown! Dalvin Cook as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 4. A nice tiny little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Mac Jones leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half. Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Rasheed Green. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Yeah, the Browns are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Touchdown, Cleveland.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for it, and momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
91 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A run for Nick Chubb. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Play action now. Here's Mayfield.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play that time on a catch and run.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Mayfield off the play fake. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Vikings 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Handoff comes to Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Landry now on the return. 55-yard punt, 11 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Out of the gun, he'll throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd.
Greedy Williams picks it off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
CC violation.
No doubt.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal.
This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
He gets away from one. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Harrison
is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On the carry, it's Chubb. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Mayfield. And that is incomplete here.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third down, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
It has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
There are so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Darnold completes it, breaks through the contact, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. From the 50, it's Darnold. Open man here is Conklin, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Second down, they go right back to Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Darnold. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. To throw is Darnold. Open man, once again it's Thielen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But
now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Malik McDowell gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. After the sack on first down, Darnold, that's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This a 33-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Browns drive about to get started. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his home. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Mayfield.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Again, he's got that man Landry.
We play to win.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal.
Now Mayfield.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Browns.
Demetric Felton.
His first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns have moved out in front.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 7. 1:11 to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Darnold.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. A give running right is Chubb. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll indeed take a knee. So with that knee, 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Cleveland, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on